Okay, so in this video we are going to learn something more about NPM scripts. We already saw that in package.json we have a scripts block in which we can create our own custom scripts. Okay, so let's say we have created a script called start, then we can write npm run start, and then if we enter, then this script will run whatever command we have given corresponding to it. Now, firstly, let's understand what is this npm run. If you Google npm run, then you will get this page which is npm run script. Okay, and you will see that the alias is run, which essentially means that like npm install is the full command name and npm I is just an alias shortcut. Similarly, actually the full command is npm run script, and npm run is just a shortcut for that, and this will also work. So if somebody says npm run or npm run script, essentially both are same. Okay, next we also saw that instead of npm run script or npm run, we could simply write npm start in case of start, and here run or run script thing is not needed here, right? So essentially this thing will also work, but this will not work for all the other things. They are just special some names for which this works. So this also works for a few more names. Let me tell you, this works for test. So let's say here I just write echo start just to show you that yeah, obviously it for start it works, right? Actually for test also it works. So if you do echo test, I think this also we discussed earlier. So if you write npm run test or you simply write npm test, both will work, right? There are a few more. One is npm stop and one is npm restart. So one is npm stop and one is npm restart. So if you try these two, so npm stop, right, and npm restart, so here also you see that run prefix, that thing is not needed. So yeah, so these are somewhat they are called something like life cycle script names, but yeah, there's nothing in the name. It's just that start, stop, restart, test. Okay, for these you don't need that run prefix. Okay, so yeah, that is fine. Now let's come back to that thing. So we discussed something earlier called npx. Okay, so the idea was, so let's get rid of these for now and let's come back to our serve command. And the idea was that if we run this command npm run start or npm start, then obviously this npm is a package manager utility which is handling these things. npm scripts is obviously the thing which npm is providing, but there is something called npx, right? npx actually is called a package runner. Okay, so if there is a package and you want to run it, npx can help you do that. Okay, so we earlier saw that if we have already installed a package, let's say serve, and we want to run it, then if we are aware that it is here, then we can simply do npm serve dot, and that is sufficient, you can see, to get started. And why is that? So you can see that npm the serve package which is there. So npm, let's say ls serve, you can see that this is installed, right? But later we will see that actually this installation is also not needed for it to actually work, but we'll come back to that very soon. Firstly, let me tell you one more thing. I think we earlier discussed this thing, that we could directly call the call the reference or binary or script directly, which is available inside wherever the serve package is installed, right? So actually there are two ways to do this. You can go and you can go and in the node modules folder in the uh, serve, you can see the bin, and you can see that, yeah, serve.js is there. So looks like this is the file which is going to run. So you can actually run this JavaScript file, right? So in order to do that, you can simply go to that file and run it. So run it using JavaScript because it is a node file, right? It is a JavaScript file, so it can be run via node. So rather than using npx, this time I'm directly going to that file via node, and let's say /node modules serve, and then bin, and then serve.js, right? And this serve extension is not needed because the node understands that, right? And then run it on the current folder. So current folder means the current folder from where you are running this command. So the current folder you are right now is the code where the this piece of whole thing is installed. Okay, so you can understand that this thing is working also fine. So one way is this thing, right? Actually there's one another way also, and that another way is something like this, that rather than going inside node modules and then package and then bin or something whatever is there is a common. So all over the executables, if any package exposes some executables, then that is already available in a folder called .bin directly inside node modules. So this node modules folder, if you see, it has a folder called .bin. This is not some package. You can see that rest all of the things are related to some package or package scopes, but this thing, you can see that here also a thing called serve is there. You can see that there is this sort of arrow symbolic link. So actually just it's like just a shortcut which is created. Okay, it's just a shortcut which is created so that you don't have to go and look through the package and exactly see that which files to call or something like that. Simply you go to .bin and execute that, and this is not even a JavaScript file. It's just a sort of a symbolic link, so it can be very it can be called simply essentially as the executable directly. So what you can do is that you can do something like this directly: /node modules .bin serve dot. So you can see that this is also working, right? And then essentially, since this is directly an executable, so you don't need to add a node or something, so because you're not running a JavaScript file, you're just essentially running executable. Okay, so that is fine. That is fine, right? And this is like the more common way. If you want to, if you're not using npx or something and directly you want to very quickly run something which you have already installed, then you can just simply go to this folder .bin inside node modules and take that executable and run it. However, as we know that this thing will be definitely much concise. Okay, so that is one thing, and there is another advantage, that this npx comes pre-bundled with node.js, right? Like npm, npx is also coming pre-bundled. So essentially you don't have to install anything else to get started with npx. Again, npx is also available globally, like npm. Okay, so from anywhere in your whole application, you can run this. You might be thinking that, okay, if I can run it from everywhere, then like here I have installed it, right? What if I have not installed it, right? So let's see. I have seen that npm, let's say ls and serve. Okay, so okay, so firstly, let's see this. So this is there, right? And you can see that the globally it is not installed, right? And this npx serve thing is working. So definitely it is taking from this local one, right? Let's now go one folder before, which means that right now I am just outside this. So right now I'm not in this project folder, right? I'm outside. Will this command still run? Will this command still run? You can see that it is still running. It is still running, right? Why is that? Why is that? In fact, let's do one thing. You go inside this, and whatever this serve package was there, let's remove that. Let's remove that. You can see that the serve package is now completely removed. So neither it is locally nor it is globally, right? Nor it is globally. And then also this thing, you can see that it is running. Okay, not only that, let's say you want to run this a different version. So it was like 13 or something, right? Let's say I want to run 12th version of this, right? You enter, then it simply asks you first time that do you want to proceed with the installation, and you press Y, or you simply press enter, then also it will proceed, because by default it will take Y, and then it will go ahead and continue and run that. You can see that it has started running. Okay, the version 12. The point is that yeah, and it is running, and you can see that still if you check if you check that sorry, let me see, and let's run that same thing again. So let's say I'm running again, and this time you can see that they are not asking about installation. And that's why for me, even in this thing, it was not asking, because first time they asked me to install and remove. So this permission they ask it only for one time. But the idea is that you can understand that this all these things, whether it is at the, version 12 or version 13, everything you are able to run, but there is no such package if you search it actually, right? Either here or globally, right? So actually what is happening? So actually what is happening is that this npx thing, which is essentially a package runner, what it does is that if in the hierarchy of the directory where you are running this, if it finds some node modules, right, then it will go ahead and execute, and that executable is present there, then it will pick directly from there. It will pick directly from there, right? So let's try one thing. Let's try one thing, that let's install npm but serve but version 12 in this repository. So I'm doing npm I serve at 12. You can see that this is like outdated version 13 is already available, but I have I have installed version 12, right? And now let's run npx serve dot. You can see that it is it is running this thing, but let's go one folder outside. Like, so right now I am in this node modules folder, sorry, hello world folder, and I just go one step above, which means that right now I am in full stack folder, and let's run the exactly same command npx serve dot. Now you see that it is not running version 12, it is running version 13. You can see that this warning is not coming, right? Which means that this is the latest version, which means that that's what I was saying, that from wherever you are running this package runner, npm package runner, which is npx, then it sees that whether this executable is available uh, from the current directory. Like, so for current directory, earlier it was like it was inside, from here it was running, right? So from here it was checking that whether some node modules is there or not. and and if it is not there, then it keeps on going to the parent, to the parent, to the parent. Again, obviously, if somewhere globally you have installed, then in some parent it will find again that thing that thing. So let's try to do that. That seeing that will be better. So let's remove let's remove npm. Let's remove serve from here, right? And let's install serve globally. So right now, if you see that if you're running this, then essentially it is running. So essentially, what it is doing is that if something is not there, then it is essentially sort of installing, running, and uninstalling. You can understand it like that, because as you can clearly see that npm serve, npm ls serve. So firstly, let me go inside this hello world, right? And just give me 1 minute. I believe I should not have installed here, so just let me remove this package JSON and package log JSON. We'll see later what is package log, but anyways, uh, yeah. So I was saying that let's remove this serve thing from here. And the idea is that you can see that now if you do ls, then it is not here, it is not here, right? But this thing is still running. So you can understand that first time I've already run this command earlier, and that's why it did not ask me permission. But the point is that you can see that it installed when the first time you are running, then it installs, caches those files for installation, and then again runs your command and then uninstalls, but still it has that downloaded files. So later again you run this command, then again it quickly it can look through those, right? But the thing is that if this thing is not available anywhere, then it is doing something like that, right? If let's say I have globally serve installed, let's say, for that matter, sorry, npm hyphen g. Okay, so now I can understand that in the global node modules, you can see that okay, so I have done some mistake. Let me see. Okay, so this is not global. That's what the mistake was. And vm root hyphen g you have to write to get the global one. So you can see that here serve installed, and let's try to run npx serve dot. Okay, but how do you know that whether it installed new one, or it executed our global one, right? So for that, what we are going to do is that whatever we installed package, let's remove this. Let's install this again, but install a, let's say, 12th version, right? And now run this thing. You can see that that's 12 version is running. So essentially you're understanding whether if and again this is 12 version running because in local it is not able to find, any npx, right? If you would have installed a 13th version locally, right? So here I have 13th version I have installed. So next you will run, then 13th version is running, it is running from locally. So you can understand that this sort of hierarchy is there, that in the current folder node modules is there, then it will use from there. Otherwise it will see in the parent folder, again in the parent folder, again in the parent folder. It will keep on doing like that, and again like this globally, and in the end it will also check the global node module system, node modules folder, wherever your global setup is there. And there also, if it is not there, let's say and let's say for example you are trying to run a serve at 11 or something, this is like nowhere available, right? Then also it will install it. You can see that it is asking you for installation, it will install it, and then run it, right? So that is how it is working. Okay. So this is useful sometimes when, for example, you have to run some command from anywhere, and you are not interested in installing that package somewhere or anywhere. Like you just one time use. You're just wanting to run that package. So later we'll see something like create react app is a sort of a wrapper package which is used for creating an application in React, right? Then I don't want to run that command always, right? Generally whenever I am creating a new project, then only I run some once in a while, then only I want to run that command. So let's say I don't want to install that utility globally or something, right? So just one time right now, just run it for me, whatever is the latest version, and to get away with it, right? So if your requirement is something like that, then also npx is can be useful. And obviously we saw that if you have already installed, then also npx can be used to run that. Let's take an example of that. So let's say I have not installed some package. When so let's remove the global serve because it was version 12, so that I don't forget it later. And yeah, and I can see that there is no global package, but there is a local package which is the latest version, right? So now you understand that, yeah, so if I run npx serve dot, then this is this local thing is starting, right? But what if I say you that some package which I have not installed ever, right? uh, so let's say you are trying to use a package called cowsay. So what cowsay package is there, if you see, and search a package, so it's just basically not much details given here, but basically essentially it's just a repository where you can just sort of a funny utility, where if you run this utility and give it some text, then it creates sort of a text image of a cow which is saying something, whatever text you are saying, which means that if you are saying cow say and then hello, then your cow will say hello. Okay. But this package, cow say package, right, you can see that this package I have not installed, right? But but if you are running with npx again, then it will just ask you sometimes, or if you have already installed it, or if you have already run this command, then they will not ask you. But the point is that you understand that you just press enter and it executed. And if you see that npm ls cowsay, then literally it is not installed. Okay. So it is a one time utility, just and that asking is also done just one time. If you right now run it again, then that those packages are already downloaded at least, so they don't want to download it again and again and ask. They have already taken your permission also one time, so they don't want to ask it again and again. So you can see that you are able to run something which you have not installed even. Okay. So that also npx is helpful, right? Just one thing, whatever you are saying here. So hello, and let's say I want to say hello world or something, right? You can give this in quotes also, but I believe that here both works because after cause whatever is there, the whole all the things are taken as one argument, I'd say. But and there is another package called there's another package called I believe excuse me. Okay, so what it does is that it gives you some and then again it will just ask one time, and after that it will run, and then it is just generally it gives you some developer excuses. Every time you run this, it will give you some new developer excuse. So you run it again, it will give you another developer excuse. You run it again, it will give you another developer excuse. Okay, so now you can what you can do is that you can mix and match various things, right? So and again you can do all of these things using some script here also, right? So let's say comma, and I have created a new script called move, and that move script says let's say something like let's say cow say hello, right? So this will also work, right? If I do npm run move, then yeah, so basically since this is okay, so if I have, so let's see both things. Let's see, I do npx, then you can see that this is directly working, right? Had I installed cowse, you see, had I installed cowse, now this will not work because cowse is not installed, but had I installed cowse, then it will now since I have installed it in the local node module, so now this cowse will take it the local binary, right? And then this should also work. So you can see that this is working, right? Next this cowse thing, actually you can pass the argument from here also. You can do one another way also, which is something called echo hello. Okay, and then pipe. So what happens that you see echo hello is what? Echo hello prints hello on the screen, prints hello on the screen, right? If you do a pipe operator in Unix, so I don't know, like I don't know in Windows systems it works or not, but in Unix systems, when you do a pipe operator, then whatever is the output of this thing is getting as the input, uh, which means that earlier you were writing cow say hello. Now whatever you are printing here, that becomes the input. So now you can understand that this thing will also do the same thing. If I do npm run move, I save this and npm run move, you can see that this is saying hello, right? So again whatever you are printing here, right? And again if the command is simple, that thing which is like earlier we saw, right, some excuse command, right? And then you can use npx excuse me. So npm run excuse. So you can see that a new excuse is printed, right? And then since this is printing that, then since this is also printing that, then again you could have used this also, and then now whatever you are printing here, whatever you, and again if you also install excuse me npm I excuse in this excuse me in this folder, then you don't need to use npx, right? But the point is that this what this will do is that this is going to create, this is going to just give a developer excuse and then give that developer excuse to cowse. So now what happens that now if you run npm run move, then every time the cow is coming up with a new developer excuse. So yeah, just a fun exercise, you can try it down. The idea was to help you understand how the how you are going through the this process, npx process. So let's say one more thing. Let's say I don't have cause also. Let's say I don't have cause also. npm rm cause. So I have removed this also, right? Then obviously it will not run, right? It will say that cause is not installed. So what you can do is that again you can use npx here also. So npx excuse me, it gives a developer excuse that is passed as an argument to npx cause. And again cause will fail, but npx cause will not fail, because even if cause is not installed, npx cause will run that npm package globally, right? It is a npx is a package run, and if cause is a valid npm package, it will go ahead and run it directly if it is available. If it needs to download, it will proper go ahead and download it, right? So you can see that neither excuse me now nor cause is installed, then also this thing works. Okay, so yeah, so that should be it. um so yeah, we have gone through a bit, and there are some more standard scripts which are there, which you can go ahead and read in the documentation. But the basic idea that how to run various scripts, and how to do setup, how to run, how to do npx, how to run npx with a particular package, and we can use a version also. We can use version something like 12.0.1 or whatever. If you want a particular version to run, that also you can do. But if that package is not already there, then definitely it will go ahead and install that package and run it for you, right? So this will be helpful to you in some cases. Okay, so that will be all for this video. Let's see some other topic in the next one. Thanks a lot.